This is a great video from the Bank of America on how to set a budget and stick to it. We'll watch a short piece of the video.
A budget is a tool you need to help you stretch your paycheck as far as it'll go. And all it takes is just a little bit of discipline, planning, and most importantly, prioritization. While creating a budget may seem overwhelming at first, the time you spend putting it together will certainly be worth it when the process of paying your monthly bills becomes a little less stressful. So, where do you start? Well, setting a goal is always a good place to begin. It gives you something to shoot for, and then, of course, making a plan that's going to set you in motion. So here's how to do that in 6 easy steps.
Well, I didn't show the entire video. I did give you just a glimpse of the video. It is really valuable. It talks about the 6 steps to setting a budget. And I think students really like it. The video is about 3 to 4 minutes long. Please remember when teaching financial education and the budgeting unit that you want to also talk about opportunity costs, the next best alternative given up when a choice is made. A budget or spending plan is not about depriving yourself. It's about getting what you really want and what is important. And then it's important to tell students to fast forward 10 years. You will be earning more money. How will you manage it? And lastly, be sure to tell students to practice with scenarios. I like to create scenarios where students might be living with a roommate and the roommate moves out. Can they afford the rent on their own? Have them create a budget. Have them create a budget for after high school graduation. What are they going to be doing in the September after graduation? Have them really plan a serious budget. You can also use simulations from Take Charge Today. The first simulation is where you've been hired as a financial advisor for a family. And as a financial advisor, you have to create a spending plan or budget for this family. You have goals to achieve with the budget, and this is a great simulation for students to practice. There's also the Mint simulations from mint.com or Intuit Education. And I'll spend a little bit of time here talking about those. But the Mint Budgeting for Income and Expense simulation is really meant to be a conclusion activity that you share with students after teaching some of the Take Charge Today content. This can all be done in a 30 to 60 minute lesson or a 3-day simulation if you want to expand it a little bit. Let's take a moment now and review the Take Charge Today website and go over some of the information that is provided to you free. You can find the Take Charge Today resources at takechargetoday.arizona.edu. This is a project of the University of Arizona Take Charge America Institute for Consumer Financial Education and Research. There are more than 40,000 educators nationwide that use this free, ready-to-teach classroom material. There's teacher training, newsletters, grants, online resources, and other tools available. The lessons relate to money management and financial education for approximately grades 7th through 12th. You do need to have an account to use their resources. The account is free, so be sure to sign up. I've already signed up. So I'm going to go ahead and just log in and take a moment to sort of explore what they have. So they have a lot of curriculum, and they have introductory and advanced levels of curriculum. They have supplemental active learning tools, visual aids. They have about 7 major curriculum units. Take charge of your financial well-being, saving and investing, spending and borrowing, managing your money, earning, receiving, and distribution of wealth. If you go to the curriculum part of the website, you can scroll down to the bottom and search lesson plans. This is where I tend to go. Once you're here, you can enter in key terms to search for, but you can also browse by topic. And these are all drop-down expandable links. And here you can see all the different lesson units they have available. the grade levels, and then the time sort of that you would devote to that lesson. Here I've expanded the Managing Your Money category for lessons, and I found the spending plan lessons for grades 10 through 12. A lot of this is what we covered in this presentation earlier. Once you're here, you will be able to download all the lesson materials, and they're all PDF files. Some of these are zipped files. You can download everything, or you can just download, say, the PowerPoint presentation or the workbook pages, or just the lesson plan and information sheet. So please, I highly encourage you to take a moment and sort of look at all this information that's available. They usually have this whole sort of introductory page which talks about national standards, objectives, time, all the materials you may want to use or have available to you to use. Talks about different resources, websites, all different kinds of things, content, optional instruction. It actually goes through each PowerPoint slide so that you can understand what you're supposed to deliver with each PowerPoint, how to play any games. It's just really, really well documented lesson plan for you. Here you can see every slide and what you're supposed to discuss for every slide of the presentation. And then at the end of this sort of guide and how-to, there's vocabulary. There's this great thing called a note-taking guide so that you can give this to students as you are giving the presentation and going over the PowerPoint. They can actually take notes. So this is really valuable. I find that I use these a lot. Some simulations, just everything you need to create a very powerful budgeting unit. I do want to take a moment to talk about the simulations that are available through Take Charge Today from Intuit. You can find these right off the main website by just scrolling here on the front page. You'll see Introducing Intuit Simulations, and if you click More, they're going to have a whole page dedicated to several simulations, not just budgeting. It talks a lot about how to prepare for the simulations. You are using Intuit Mint, and so you do have to set up logins for your students, but it gives you how-to videos on how to do that. There are several simulations. Budgeting and income expenses is a 1-day or 3-day simulation, as I mentioned earlier. There's also savings accounts, credit reports, and these simulations are available, and it tells you what lesson plans or units from Take Charge Today sort of matches the simulations. There's also a TurboTax simulation, and this one's really cool and really powerful. I do want to take a moment to talk about PDF files on Take Charge Today. Many of us have moved to sort of online teaching this year and find that the PDF files may be challenging for students to work with because they are fillable and some are not fillable, so there's a lot of challenges there. If you or a student is struggling with creating or filling out PDF files, I highly recommend you try the free website PDF Escape. I'm not endorsing it or anything, but it is a great resource where you can create PDFs and you can fill out PDFs free, and you can save them, because that's usually a big issue with students where they fill out a PDF and they don't save it correctly, and if they go back to revisit it, then all the information is gone. So it's always a challenge with fillable PDFs, but PDF Escape might be able to help you with that. So that pretty much sums up everything I want to cover with you today regarding budgeting. Just remember that when you teach budgeting, it's about practice. Give kids hands-on, actual budgets to create. More than one. Use resources from Take Charge Today to find information on creating simulations and practical budgeting experience. Also at Take Charge Today, you'll find a PowerPoint similar to the one that I've gone over, as well as lessons and the Intuit simulations on budgeting. Feel free to email me anytime at tsullivan@gfalls.wednet.edu if you have any questions about teaching a budgeting unit at your school or any questions about financial education for high school students. Thank you.